Okay, let's see what's going on in this car this time. Welcome back to Garage Matters. If your car doesn't want to start, well, come on over. I'm going to give you the know-how so you can get this car up and running without using any tools. Now, our test vehicle is going to be this 1994 Toyota Celica GT4, but the process and steps that I'm going to use to troubleshoot this no-start issue with this vehicle is going to be very similar for all makes and models. Now, I did say no tools in this video to get this car up and running again. Even if I wanted to use this OBD2 scanner right here to scan the vehicle, it won't work because this is a 1994 and OBD2 came out in 1996. Now, back in my younger days, I grew up in the 90s and I had my fair share of working on these 90s era cars to get them up and running again. I didn't have any of these fancy computers to help me troubleshoot what was wrong with it. All I had to do is just start looking around the engine bay and I just had to figure it out. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to recall that experience to get this GT4 up and running so we can open up this garage and get this car on the road. Now, we've got the hood open, but I'm not going to do anything underneath this hood yet. What I'm going to do is go into the driver's seat, try to start this car up and see what it's doing. A lot of times you can figure out what's going on with the car by just listening to it. So we'll go ahead and hop in this vehicle, try to start it up and see what happens. Now, no, it's not the battery because these alarms are going off. These lights are coming on down here as well. And then just to double check that it's not a dead battery, we're going to turn on all the lights. I've got all the lights on, turn all the flashers on, and you can even turn on the radio, but if the lights are nice and bright like this, then you know it's not the battery. So we could go ahead and rule out that it's a battery. Go ahead and turn everything off. Close the door. Now let's go ahead and try to start this car and see what's happening. Okay, so no crank, no start, nothing's happening from the engine. Let's listen again. Good sign is that the fuel pump did kick on, so I know that's not going to be an issue at all. But with the engine not even trying to turn over or crank, I know it's something electrical within the starting system. And with these symptoms and the similar issues like this happening to me so many times in the past, I'm pretty confident that once we replace this starter relay, this car is going to fire right up. Now, you want to locate where your fuses and relays are in the engine bay. For this vehicle, it's going to be right here if you're a Celica GT4 owner. I'm going to make this really easy for you. All you got to do is pop open this cover right here. Flip over this cover and look back here. Now, on all makes and models, they usually have a diagram on the back side of this cover right here. So you're just going to try to figure out the correct orientation. So what I like to do is look for these big relays right here and these big fuses. So I'm going to start right here. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking for 3 big relays and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fuses right below it. So I'll come over here. 3 big relays, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 little fuses, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know this is the correct orientation right now. Now I need to find a starter relay. On this Celica GT4, it's going to be ST. Some diagrams might actually say starter relay, and that's the relay that you want to replace. But for this car, it's a Celica GT4, and we're going to replace the starter relay, which is this one right here. Let me flip this over so you can get a better look at it. So if you're a Celica GT4 owner, here's what that relay looks like. It says self-timer relay on it, and that's the one you want to replace. And to replace these relays, normally you can just go to your local auto parts store or go to whatever dealer your car is from, and you can just order from the parts store or from your local auto parts store. Just tell them you're looking for a starter relay and they'll be able to look it up and give it to you. But for this vehicle, for my GT4 viewers out there, I'm going to make this really easy. Give you the part number. So the new part number is going to be right here. And this is what it's going to look like. So it's going to be a purple one now. Now, this relay is still the original one that came with the vehicle. So these are obsolete now, and these have been superseded by these. And we're going to pop this one in and see if this one works. Now let's go ahead and remove the old relay out. So all you got to do, normally, you just got to pull it out. But sometimes there's these little tabs right here that you got to move out. So I've already moved this one out. So you should just be able to go ahead and just pull it out. Sometimes you gotta wiggle it to kind of get it unstuck, but it should just come right out. Okay, there we go. And that's what it looks like. On the left side, we have the original OEM relay. And then on the right side, we do have another relay. It's also made for Toyota. I think they use these on some of their other Toyotas. I think it might be like the Scions. I'm not quite sure, but when I looked up the part numbers, it said that this one does fit the Celica GT4. So we are gonna use it. Some of the main differences is the size. So this new one that supersedes the old one now is definitely shorter. We'll do a top view and see. Okay, so it is the same width as well too. Grab the new relay, come back over to the vehicle, and then all we're gonna do is just figure out the correct orientation. So it should be like this. So we're just gonna pop it back in here, push it down, make sure it snaps in place. Okay, slow and steady pressure. Okay, so it snapped in place. Try to wiggle it so it's not gonna wiggle out, and that is it. We'll pop this cover back on real quick and then hop in the driver's seat and try to start it up and see if she fires right up. Alright, that's done for this relay replacement. Well, alright, so we're back in the vehicle right now. My garage doors, they're completely closed, so I'm just gonna fire it up for maybe like 10 seconds so I don't get carbon monoxide poisoning while filming in the garage. So we'll fire it right up. One try, fires right up. So we'll let it run for a couple seconds, turn it off, and try it again. See if it fires right up. Yeah, same result. So it looks like the starter relay replacement definitely fixed the issue with this vehicle. I kind of knew that it was going to be the case because I've had this issue happen to me so many times before, and it's just really common for these older vehicles for these relays to go bad. And they're electrical components, and the way these relays work, they're actually electromagnets, so sometimes the contacts in there they just end up failing because of age. This car's 94 and it's 2025, so it's 31 years old this year. So it's to be expected as far as these relays failings, but luckily I've had this issue happen to me before and I knew what to do. And this is the part where experience plays a huge part in automotive maintenance. With the test that we ran inside the vehicle and having the same exact issue happen to me multiple times in my younger years, I know that the issue is going to be a starter relay. Now, some of the symptoms of another bad starter relay is when you go to the gas pump. You go to the gas pump, you turn the car off, pump your gas, and you go to try to start the vehicle. If the vehicle doesn't start, but then you wait 10 to 15 minutes, and then the vehicle starts on the very first try on that next attempt, then you know that it's a bad starter relay as well. And this is just one of many reasons why your vehicle may not start. Thanks again for all you GT4 owners out there that have already subscribed to my channel and keep coming back for GT4 content. And remember, join us next time on Garage Matters and hit that like and subscribe button.